Today we are going to start control charts for attribute. From first year you have the knowledge about type of characteristics. There are two type of characteristics. One is measurable and another is non-measurable. If it is measurable, then we consider control charts for variable. And if the characteristics under study is non-measurable, we consider control charts for attributes. So under attribute, the product is classified in two categories: defective, non-defective. So in that case, you have to proceed for control charts for attributes. Sometime instead of studying defective, we study reason due to which product become defective. That reason is labeled as defects. So you can plot the chart for defective as well as you can plot the chart for defects. So if you plot the chart defective, it is P chart. In fact, it is the chart for fraction defective. And if you study defects, then corresponding chart is considered as a C chart. So today we are going to speak about P chart. That means how the quality of the product is controlled by classifying the product defective or non-defective. Let us see the procedure. P chart, the proportion of defective items in a production process is named as a fraction defective and it is denoted by small p. So in the heading P chart, P stand for fraction defective. So we are studying a fraction defective in a production process. Just like in X bar chart, we study average characteristic of a product and we study variation between the product. Similarly, for P chart, we are making a record of fraction defective in a sample. How to define a fraction defective? Small p equal number of defective items in the sample divided by total number of items inspected, that means in the sample. So for every sample, we calculate fraction defective P. Theoretical basis for P chart. That means just like X bar chart, R chart, we assume that sample observations follow normal distribution with certain mean mu and certain variance sigma square. Under that assumption, we construct 3 sigma control limits. And by using 3 sigma control limits, we plot the chart and then we draw the conclusion whether process is under control or not. On similar way, to draw the P chart, what is the statistical basis, what is the theoretical basis? In this chart, the variation due to chance causes follows some statistical distribution. What is that distribution? Number of defective items, suppose denoted by DI, in a sample follows hypergeometric distribution. If you recall from mathematical statistics of first year, in first semester, I taught you some standard distributions. So hypergeometric distribution is one of the distribution you know from first year semester 1 from mathematical statistics. So basically, number of defectives as your variable, which is considered for P chart, follows hypergeometric distribution. Under large sample, that means usually sample size greater than 30, we call it as a large sample. It is approximated to binomial distribution. And this also proved in that syllabus, under certain conditions, hypergeometric distribution tends to the binomial. This we have proved mathematically in your first year. So for n greater than equal to 30, we approximate hypergeometric to binomial. Let di number of defective items in a sample of size n. Therefore, di follows binomial distribution with n comma p. P is a chance to have a defective item. N is number of item under inspection, where pi is di upon n. Now pi is a fraction defective, proportion of defective. Di upon n, I1 to k. K is the number of samples under study. So this is the statistical basis for your P chart. Number of defectives approximated to binomial, and under binomial we study fraction defective. Let us see how fraction defective gives control limits. Construction of P chart, case number 1, just like X bar chart, R chart, standards are given, standards are not given. Case number 1, control limits for P chart when small n sample size is fixed. N is not varying, it is fixed. And process standard deviation is known. This standard is known to you. That means for entire production process, what is a fraction defective? That is capital P. You have knowledge about it. Let small pi sample proportion of fraction defective di upon ni, I1 to k. Di for number of defective items in ith sample, di follows binomial with n comma p. P is known. So you have knowledge of population fraction defective. Expected value of pi as your variable is expected value of di upon n. 1 upon n is a constant outside, expected value of di. And we know for binomial distribution, expected value of binomial random variables np. So I write np. This n cancel with this n. Expected value of small pi is capital P. What this calculation says? Sample proportion is unbiased estimate of population proportion. That is the understanding. Variance of di. You know, if variable is a binomial, mean is np and variance is npq. So variance of di equal to npq. Variance of pi equal to variance of di upon n. Now you might be confused. Sometime I write di, sometime I write pi. Di is a binomial, pi is not a binomial. I want to construct limit for P chart fraction defective. So after di, I speak about pi. So variance of pi is variance of di upon n. And you know, if there is a constant inside a variance, it comes outside with a square. So this is same as 1 upon n square variance of di. Di is a binomial. I use this formula. So that is npq. This n cancel with square, so you get variance of pi, pq upon n. So we get 3 sigma control limits for P chart. You can recall beginning chapter of this semester, 3 sigma control limits are nothing but expected value of variable under study plus minus 3 times standard error of variable under study. And that is why I get standard error of pi, I get expected value of pi. That is the basic reason why these mathematical steps are carried out. Central limit is capital P because it is expected value of pi is capital P. Upper control limit, expected value of pi plus 3 times standard area of pi. This is capital P plus 3 times standard error of pi is this much. Lower control limit same as this with minus sign. You get this lower control limit. So these are the control limits if you have a knowledge of process fraction defective when P is known to you. In other way around, sometimes Pi is unknown. P is unknown, then how to construct the limit? Control limits for P chart under subgroup size small n is fixed. And process standard capital P is unknown. This is case number 2. Di is number of defective in ith subgroup, ith sample. Pi is a sample fraction defective, di upon n. Capital P is a process fraction defective is unknown, so we need to estimate it. Capital P is not given, so you have to find. How we can find? Di follows binomial with n comma p. Expected value of di is np. Standard error of di is root of npq. Expected value of pi that we are going to develop. So expected value of pi is expected di upon n, the same step what we wrote in previous steps. So you get expected value of pi as capital P. This we proved before also. Let P bar is the average sample fraction defective. Formula is summation pi upon k. Expected value of P bar is expected value of this. 1 by k summation expected value of pi. And this is P. Sum of constant is k time P. K get cancelled. So what we proved? We proved that expected value average fraction defective is equal to population fraction defective of the process. That means if P is unknown, I can replace by sample fraction defective. That is the reason to derive this. Compare 1 and 2. P cap is nothing but P bar, average of sample proportion. So this everything is done to decide what is capital P if it is not given. Answer is, it is replaced by average of sample fraction defectives. Hence, we get 3 sigma control limit for P chart when standard not given. Control limit is P bar. Upper control limit expected value of pi plus 3 times standard error of pi. We proved E of pi is P bar plus 3 times replace P by P bar, Q by Q bar upon N as an estimate. Lower control limit same as this, replace plus to minus. So I got control limits for P chart when P is unknown. Now, what is case number 3? 3 sigma control limits for P chart when subgroup size is not fixed. Let us compare with case 1 and case 2. Case 1, n is fixed. Case 2, n is fixed. What is the difference between case 1 and case 2? Case 1, population proportion defective given. Case 2, population proportion defective not given. Now in case 3, what we do? We are not fixing sample size. So suppose we draw k samples and every sample size will be different than other. That is called as variable sample size. So you have a possibility of making a control chart when sample sizes are varying. DI, number of defective in ith sample. NI, subgroup size of ith sample. Small pi, sample fraction defective. Formula pi equal to di upon ni. Before case 1, case 2, di upon n. That is the difference, I1 to k. We know that di follows binomial with ni comma p. Before it is only n, now here ni. Small change. Where p be the process fraction defective, expected value of di is ni times p because it is a binomial. Expected value of di ni can be taken on the left. So expected value of di upon ni is p, but di ni defined as pi, so it is pi. Expected value of pi is p. Variance of di is ni pq. Variance of ni pi. Di is nothing but ni. Di is nothing but ni into pi. So I replace here. Ni taken outside should become ni square variance of pi. Now this ni square taken on the right hand, pq upon ni. So standard error of pi is pq upon ni. Same formula, little change. Here it is n. Now if sample size varying, we write ni. So that is the small change in case number 3 to be remembered. Hence, if p is specified, known to you, then central limit is p, upper control limit expected value of pi plus 3 times standard error of pi. Replace the formulas. Sometime p is unknown. That means case number 3, p is known. These are the limit. P unknown, find the estimate of p. Total number of defectives divided by total number of items inspected altogether. Sum of di for k samples, total defective, and this is the total sample size altogether. So this is the formula to decide average fraction defective. That is the estimate of population fraction defective. So we get 3 sigma control limits for P chart when process standard capital P and varying sample size. Central limit P bar, upper control limit P bar plus 3 times standard error, lower control limit P bar minus 3 times standard error. If this L lower control limit coming negative, you have to assume 0 because we are plotting fraction defectives which never negative. That's why if lower control limit by chance comes minus, you take approximately 0. So x-axis is your lower control limit. How to draw the chart, how the chart will look like? This is outline. On y-axis, you take fraction defective pi. This is somewhere central line according to this number. Now this is varying. Before it is a straight dotted line. But if sample size are varying, these limits are varying. Up and down depends on ni. Similarly, lower control limit also zigzag, not a steady dotted line. So this is the outline of P chart when subgroup size are not fixed. Remark number 1, if subgroup size is not fixed, then upper control limit and lower control limit are not a straight line. Just now we have seen. Remark number 2, if lower control limit by chance comes minus, then you have to take it as 0, that means x-axis. Remark number 3, if Ni is large, then upper control limit, lower control limit are more close to the central limit if Ni is large. That is the remark. If it requires more calculations as compared to the P chart with fixed sample size. So if sample size varies, naturally you have to calculate control limit for every sample separately. So calculations become little bit huge more. Separate control limits, upper control limit, lower control limit to be calculated for every sample. As compared to X bar chart, R chart, P chart requires larger sample size. X bar chart, R chart, we have seen subgroup size is either 4 or 5. If you decided to make a record of 4 values per sample, then number of samples under study are 25. If you decide 5 observations per sample, the number of samples under study will be 20. In all, total will be 100 observations. That is the logic in frequency of the sample. To overcome this drawback of calculation of UCL and LCL, that means if sample size varies, then you have to calculate UCL, LCL separately for every sample. That is a drawback of P chart with variable sample size. The following methods are suggested to compute upper control limit and lower control limit in case of P chart if sample sizes are varying. Number 1, standardize / stabilize control limit. Number 2, control limits based on average sample size. Number 3, control limits by using minimum and maximum sample size. So these are the alternative ways to decide a control limits if sample size are not fixed. So let us see one by one how we make a control limits for variable sample size. Standardize, stabilize control limits for P chart. Stabilized control limits are obtained to draw P chart when subgroup size, sample size is a variable not fixed. How to do that? Pi equal to di upon ni for every sample 1 to k. P bar summation di total defectives under inspection divided by total sample sizes, altogether k samples. After having P bar, now we define standardized variable as below. Zi is Pi variable under study minus its expectation divided by standard error of variable under study. This is called as a standard variate for any variable under study. It may be hypergeometric, it may be binomial, it may be Poisson. For any random variable, if you define Zi in this way, this is called standard variate, standardized variable. And for large sample, it is proved mathematically, it goes to the standard normal distribution. It is also called as a central limit theorem. Random variable minus its expectation divided by standard error of variable is called as a standard variate, also known as a central limit theorem. As sample size large, it goes to the standard normal distribution. Zi equal to Pi minus expected value of Pi is proved P bar. Standard error of Pi is P bar Q bar upon Ni. This follows normal 0, 1. Now, What is the expected value of Zi? That is mean of the normal 0. Variance of Zi, that is 1. So standard error of Zi is 1. So we get now Pi is not our variable. Now our Zi is a variable because Pi transferred to Zi. And for Zi, this is expectation and this is the standard error. So by the standard way of deciding 3 sigma limit, control limit is expected value of variable, that is 0, x-axis. Upper control limit, expected value of Zi plus 3 times standard error of Zi. This is 1, this is 0. So 3 is your upper limit. Lower control limit, E of Zi with minus, this is 0, this is 1, so minus 3. That means if you take standard variate, your control limits are unique values not changing by sample. So this is upper control limit dotted line. This is x-axis at point 0, control line. Minus 3 is a lower control limit and sample 1 to k. For every Pi, calculate Zi and plot the Zi. If all points are within, process under control. If points going out, process is out of control. Here also process out of control. Now second point, control limits for P chart based on average. Suppose you are not going for Zi. Without Zi, you can study the P chart. But here I will not calculate control limit for every sample separately, but I will find the average of the sample size. So n bar is summation ni upon k, and I use n bar to decide the 3 sigma control limit. That is the second case. It is observed that the sample size does not vary in a large extent. So we can use average of sample sizes to compute single set of control limits. For practical purpose, we use such type of chart if the difference between large sample will not exceed to small sample size by more than 20%. What is the meaning of this? That is, if smaller sample size is 200, then the largest sample size should be less than 240. 20% of 200 is 40. So minimum 200, maximum 240, then this procedure can be adequate. That is the criteria. How to do? We take average sample size n bar, summation ni upon k. So we get control limit for P chart based on average sample size as below. Control limit expected value of Pi is P bar, it is proved. Upper control limit is expected value of Pi plus 3 times standard error of Pi. This is P bar plus 3 times P bar Q bar upon N bar. So here is not Ni, it is N bar, average. So you get a single number here instead of different limits. Lower control limit is same with minus sign. Now by using these 3 points, make an outline, take x's and yi's. This is your x-axis. On y-axis, take a Pi, central line with P bar, upper control limit with this number, lower control limit with this number, and draw the PIs and check whether process is under control or not under control. Now third case, that is a control limits based on minimum and maximum sample size. So we construct two different limits. Firstly, based on minimum of the sample size, and another is based on maximum of the sample size. So that is case number one. Suppose Ni is n minimum, and with n minimum, construct your limits. Procedure is same, only here write minimum of the sample size. Case number two, take Ni as a maximum and get a limits by taking n as a maximum. And draw the corresponding charts. You will get outline this. For construction of the control chart depends on minimum and maximum. This is your upper control limit if you take with maximum sample size, and this is your control limit if you speak with minimum sample size. You can see they are overlapped to each other. So this is your spread between lower control limit and upper control limit. So I divide this chart of basis on two samples, minimum and maximum. I say this as A, B, C, D, E. From here to here, I say C, D, E. Now, on every part, by looking after plotting the points according to falling of the point in this area, you draw the conclusions that is written down. In above chart, we have 5 regions A, B, C, D, E. If the point lies in the region A and E, then process is out of control. So if point come here or here, then process out of control. If the points are lying in C region, then the process is under control. That means this is the area, is the central point, upper control limit for minimum and lower control for maximum. So if you have points in between these two regions, then conclusion is process is under control for this. What about D and what about B? If the points lies in the region B and D, then we can take a decision on the basis of corrected sample size. We need to find separate control limits for the points in region B and D. These can be explained as below. Suppose P1 point is in the region D, which is below upper control limit based on N maximum. Hence, it is not out of control, but it is above upper control limit if you take a sample with minimum. So in respect of this process out of control, but in respect of these processes within control, due to which we may say that it is out of control. So it is very critical to take a decision if you draw two separate limits on a same chart. Suppose P2 be the point in the region B, which is above lower control limit. Hence, the process is under control, but it is below LCL of maximum. Hence, it may say that it is out of control. That means one point has two different type of decisions if you consider different type of control limits. Thus, for the point which lies in the region B and D, the lack of control can be decided on the basis of exact control limits based on true sample size of that points. That is the conclusion. That means if you want to take a decision, if the point below D in B or D, calculate upper control limit, lower control limit based on the sample size of that points, and then decide whether really process is out of control or inside the control. Theoretical question: discuss various methods to draw P chart for variable sample size. There are so many methods, but standard method is number one, sample size fixed, population fraction known. Number two, sample size fixed, population fraction defective unknown. And case number three onward, you have different ways, different cases under consideration. Now let us take simple numerical example and then we'll stop today. The following data shows result on inspections of a certain process. Batch number 1, 2, 3, number of inspected item and number of defectives found. So this is your data. This is sample size which is fixed. These are the number of defectives obtained and after inspection of these items. So these are the value of DI and this is the value of small n. Compute control limits and draw P chart. Also comment on the state of control. We have 3 sigma control limits for P chart with fixed sample size as below. These are the control limit with fixed sample size. Here and here a small difference, plus right minus you get lower control limit. P bar summation Pi upon K. Pi is a sample fraction defective Di upon N. Q bar is 1 minus P bar. After this you get this. Calculation table, batch number 1, 2, 3. Ni is fixed. Di upon Ni, Pi. By using Pi, get a P bar. From P bar, you get a Q bar. And you get a 3 sigma control limit by the formula. Now, you will draw the central line with point 13, upper control limit with point 23, lower control limit with 0.029, that means 0.03. By taking a proper scale, it is the fraction defective. By looking the maximum value, minimum value, and by looking fraction defective in the calculation, your number should be covered in the scale, that care should be taken. My P is 0.13, it is somewhere here, solid line. 0.23 is upper control limit, here dotted line. Lower control limit is 0.29029, that is here. Batch number 1, fraction defective this much. Batch number 2 this much. Batch number 3 this much. 3 points is within the limit. Conclusion: as all Pi lies within 3 sigma limits, so process is under control. You have this question number 2 for case number 3, sample size is varying Ni and these are the Di. Compute 3 sigma control limits and comment on state of control. So here we are solving 3 sigma control limit for P chart when sample sizes are not fixed, that is case number 3. So I have central limit P bar, upper control limit P bar plus 3 times variable limits for every sample, P bar summation Pi upon K, formula summation Di upon summation Ni. P bar sum of Di means total fraction defective in all samples together, divided by number of total items in the inspection. So this total divided by this total is P bar. Q bar is 1 minus P bar. Central limit P bar. Upper control limit. Put the values, simplify. For batch number 2. Now what is this? This is a limit for batch 1 by taking 200 as a size. Now again repeat for batch number 2, sample size 100. Batch number 3, sample size is 50. That means in a data, if sample sizes are varying, you have to calculate upper control limit separately for every sample, lower control limit separately for every sample. So you can see there are many calculations. That is a serious drawback when sample sizes are varying. How to look a P chart? P chart with variable sample size Ni. These are the upper control limit. This is your lower control limit. And this is a data. Central line is this. So now points are within this. So doesn't matter, process is under control.